So the system that we rolled out in March 2009 consists of, at that point it consisted of 3 customised forms, one for the colorectal service to help solve the problem they had, and we also customised a form for the breast service. And then quite intelligently, one of my colleagues suggested that our 3rd form, which we were to release, would be a generic form. So what that gave us the ability to do was to give the GPs a complete platform for them to send all referrals to clinics electronically. So the biggest thing that electronic referrals has offered us is a safe process. So what we had initially was paper referrals being printed off by GP and subsequently passing through up to 11 pairs of hands before they got to the specialist. So these were 11 opportunities for that referral to get lost or delayed, and we've never even been able to quantify that.
We have had a lot of issues with doctors and optometrists posting plus faxing plus emailing e-referrals. So we would get duplicates, we would get patients already seen and then another copy coming in the mail, so they're triaged twice. We had referrals that were lost, we had referrals going to different departments because they might have had ENT instead of eye put on them. We're on the same floor. It was actually quite difficult keeping the referrals straight, in fact, in the way of that they were only triaged once, that 2 doctors weren't seeing the same person within 2 different weeks. It was actually quite frustrating.
The presentation of the letters was poor. There was not always information in there, especially ACC information. It was hard to read, hard to find information, took a lot longer to process. In the actual transit from post to destination where the letter needed to end up in the service took sometimes days, maybe even weeks, and there was always that risk of losing the referral altogether, which of course patient risk. The GPs wouldn't know that the letters hadn't reached their destination, so it wasn't until the patient would ring that we'd realise that a letter hadn't arrived and they hadn't received an appointment.
So what we've managed to be able to do with electronic referrals is incrementally decrease those points of loss. Initially it was purely the referral was electronically sent from the GP directly hitting the send button to the central referrals office. We subsequently have moved for the referral to be electronically transferred to the point of the service, and in 3 weeks' time we moved to the point where these referrals will electronically be in front of the specialist to prioritise it. So we've gone down from a possible 11 pairs of hands to actually no pairs of hands, but going through 3 people, and the second person being the most important from the patient perspective, which is a specialist who decides when, if and when the patient will be seen. And importantly, that step is communicated immediately back to the GP into their inbox. One of the significant benefits from electronic referrals is the ability to have an audit trail and track a referral at all times. Up until then, with paper referrals, we never knew where that was. So one of the key things that we've learnt, that when you release an eReferral system, you must have an audit system set up at the time it's released. So we now have the ability to track an audit through the various steps that it goes through, and we have time limits on every step, and we report back to the service on a weekly basis on whether the referrals have sat too long in a stage where it shouldn't have been. So this is one of the key features around eReferrals, is they give you security. And when a referral goes outside of the acceptable timeframes, we can report on it.
With the new system of e-referrals, one of the great advantages is when the ophthalmologist has previously declined a referral, we would have to keep all that information, because when he asked the doctor to send a new referral with more acuities or more information, he would want that old referral as well to put with the new one, and now we just file the old referral in RMS Lite on the eReferral system, and he can just pull that up himself and have a look to see what the doctor has previously asked for his patient, and it means far less work for us. Everything's on tap for him, and it works really well.
Definitely getting less inquiries, because the GPs know that once they've sent them through the system that they have been received, so they're acknowledged.
So one of the best things that I've observed through this process is the support that we've been able to give to our admin staff. There's actually, eReferrals has largely been a bit of a doctor-centric process, and I think there's this kind of belief that a referral gets sent from a GP and goes directly to a specialist. But it's far from that. There's multiple people in an admin role that have to touch this referral, and in the paper system they've really struggled making sense of what's written, and especially, doctors' writing is like it's notoriously bad, trying to interpret writing. And trying to track down these referrals, it's created a lot of work for admin staff chasing up referrals, spending time hunting through files where could this be, and with the resulting anxiety that creates. And it's been fantastic to have given the admin staff a system that makes it all so much easier for them, and you can just see them relax, and they're so positive about embracing new initiatives that we're doing that will actually make their job even easier.